Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. So glad you're here this morning. Got a big show lined up, but first, our weather brought to us by Gulf Coast Air Conditioning. Drew Pollard and a hard-working crew up there taking care of our everyday air conditioning needs. Looking at today, it's going to be 81. It's going to be high. That's the lowest high we've had in a very long time. Our low is going to be 75 on a 6-degree difference. But the big deal is the rain. My report says 100% chance of rain today. So we're going to talk about later on in the show. Our ground is just saturated all throughout our area. Water temperature is 84 degrees. Take a look at our river readings brought to us by Mountain Dew. On the outdoors of Mountain Dew. The Apalachicola at Bluntstown definitely not reflecting all the rain we had down here. It's a 9.3. It's still high. 9 foot is still high on the big river. But the Choctaw Caravelle, as expected, it's going to be going up. It's right now, it's shooting up there right at 7 foot now, going straight on up. It's going to be high water, and we'll see what happens in a couple of days as we get ready for our weekend. I do want to look at a tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn. In decent tides today, we have a high tide at 5:30 this morning and a low tide at 4:30 this afternoon. Our marine forecast be south-southwest. It's going to be blowing about 18, so it's not going. You don't want to get out in the water, in the middle of the water too much. I was, talking about a storm that came through Ida. We always talk about our storms and all, and sort of break them down in detail. One of the things that really struck me on Ida was not just the intensity of it. That's all. It was strong. We know that, and we know how they feel, and our hearts go out to them, and our prayers and all. And we know we watch it on TV. But when Ida came into the bottom of the Gulf, usually you get the arrows, the spaghetti strands, and they will usually move around all over the Gulf. We joke about it a lot on the show how those spaghetti strands move around. Well, Ida just basically went, when it got in the Gulf, they said headed toward New Orleans, and it went straight up there. It made no variance. It just went boom like a target on there. So that was one of the things that struck me about Ida. And also, while we're talking about nature and all, the flood up there in Waverly, Tennessee, we were up there this past weekend to see Wendy and her family, Walter. And Walter, when that flood happened, they're only about half an hour from Waverly, Tennessee, and their church members knew some of the people in Waverly, so they actually, that Sunday morning after the flood, they actually called off church, and actually they said, let's be the church at the flood scene, and they actually went there first, some of the first people getting there to just help people, not the first responders. But he was telling me what a massive destruction area that was, how strong it was and all. I think they figured out it came in. I was trying to, how in the world it happened, and what happened, you had a railroad track going across sort of a mound of dirt, big mound of dirt, and it cut up under the railroad. The water pressure got so high on this side, it busted through, and when it did, that's what caused the flood up there. But there were a lot of folks helping out, like we got help during Michael, and people are helping now during Ida, so that's always heartwarming to do that. So, and the other thing I'm going to talk about, Friday Night Lights, we hadn't really got into it and all, but I got to watch Mason play up there, and they won their game 35-33. Then I checked on my family down here on the Liberty County. I said, what about the Liberty County Weewall game? Because that was a big one. And Liberty County won in overtime 35-34. And I know that had been a great game. That had been an exciting game for both two good football programs right there. And all throughout the Panhandle, here local and all this, and Friday Night Lights have taken off. So we'll try to keep up with some of the big games and all, and keep you informed on that, just because it's fun. Friday Night Lights are fun. All right, let's take a break. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. Some big news. Travis called me on Panhandle Outdoors Shop. He said, hey, Winston, why don't we have like a Labor Day 10% off sale? I said, it sounds good to me. So all this week, going into Labor Day, we have a 10% off anything at the Panhandle Outdoors Shop. So good time to sort of buy some stuff and save some money. And that way you'll have more money to spend for Christmas. Got all kind of lights and everything on several of my shows. I appreciate everything people respond on, and it's just sort of encouraging to all of us. Let's start off with this picture right here. This is funny. Steve Smith he said, the bottom line, I don't know if you read it, I'm not a bear expert, but I'm pretty sure they're married. I thought that was a good way to start off the show today. That is funny. Okay, Michael Cowart. We know Michael well, been on the show. He sent this in to Panama City fishing a snook. My client caught in San Andreas Bay this morning. This is rare. It doesn't happen a lot, but it does happen almost every year. There's a couple of these are caught almost every year, and you tell right away it's a snook. And that's an exciting fish to get up here, and I'm glad every year somebody catches one or two of them. So good job, Michael Cowart. Now, I got this from the Ocean Conservancy, Pinellas County. We talked about this the other day about all the dead fish and all. Pinellas County, that's St. Petersburg, collected more than 1,500 tons of dead marine life so far during red tide, and that's the result of it. Fortunately, we don't have much of that up here, but we don't want to come up here. That was very, very messy. And my great nephew, here we go. This is Dylan Chester from Bristol. I've had Dylan on the show before. He's growing. His birthday was Saturday, and what did he get to do? He went fishing. And he's holding him up. I think what is he now, about 11 years old? Just kidding. He's about 15, I think. But good job, Dylan Chester, and a happy late birthday, young man. I'm proud that you get to go fishing on your birthday. Tom Martin sent this. Tom is very active in American Legion. I know it's a long way off, but go ahead and if you want to, sort of circle on your calendar. The first Saturday of October, they're having on Aberdeen Parkway a Gilgal Gala, and they're St. Andrews Ukulele Orchestra, and they're good about helping people. The American Legion is, so they really do a good job in our community. And Elizabeth Wingrove, we had her on the show before. She and her boyfriend out there looking now. What are they looking for? They're looking for the honey holes where these ducks are coming in. You see he's got the waders and all, and that's a good place to go duck hunting. Way to go, Elizabeth. And this was a good picture. Talking about this is the Navarre Pier before the storm. And I could tell you before, the Navarre Pier is special to me. I just used to, one of my first piers I ever fished off of. And here it is before the storm, and then someone took the same picture. My cousin over there took the same picture during the storm. Isn't that amazing how it could, before, boom, and that's the storm, and see how fast it can come up and all. So, okay. And then I have one more, well, I got one more, okay. This is from, speaking of the park system, St. Andrews State Park, speaking of piers, this is on the pier out there. It looks like almost an artwork. And I got tickled, somebody posted, I got tickled looking at everything got hung up on the pier. You can see there's a gotcha plug right here, and then floats. And then look at all the weights and everything people got tangled up. And so if you want to, if you're low on your tackle box and want to replenish it, go there to St. Andrews State Park Pier. Okay, so, okay, let's take a quick break now, and we'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. While we're out of town, I've got this message and all, and it started, 2 or 3 people started talking about it because about scallopers and all, and they said prayers for this family who's missing one of the family members in a scalloping trip. And I said, well, missing someone on a scalloping trip? So you know me, I started researching it all, and here I finally found something. This came out of the Tallahassee paper. This is FWC and the Wakulla County Sheriff's Office searching for missing boater off St. Mark's. And I'd already heard about the details, and basically this was Saturday was like 48 hours. And basically what had happened, he and his buddy were out scalloping, and they were down at St. Mark's. And the boat somehow, I'm trying to read the details so I can share it with you. The boat somehow, they were down there scalloping. You know, when you're scalloping, you sort of looking and you don't really pay attention to other things, because I'm the same way, focused on the water. And when it came up, the boat had broken anchor. Now, I don't know if it broke the rope, broke the chain, or just became dislodged and started floating, but the wind, the boat was just going away from them. They couldn't get to it. And one of them started swimming for shore, and this young man here, they don't really know. They don't really know what happened. I hate it. The name was 45-year-old Chris Butler. Last seen scalloping on a Thursday, and I haven't heard. But anyway, I want to show you the area, and so you understand what I'm talking about. Okay, this is St. Mark's. They went down St. Mark's River. Right here in the middle of the screen, you scallop. St. Joe Bay, you're in a bay system, but out there in Steinhatchee and Wakulla and all that area, you sort of scallop here in the middle of the screen. you sort of scallop in those areas in here. You don't get into a base system, so you can, and I've never done that. I've had Bill and Greg and all of them have done that kind of stuff and scalloped out there and taking their own boats and with guides and all. So you're out there sort of in the Gulf, but it's very shallow, but it gradually drops off. I just keep you posted on that, but I just wanted to share that with you, okay? One other thing too, and speaking of some cool outdoor stuff, I wanted to share, Ronnie McGill played baseball for us up here at Mosley, and he was a good baseball player back in the late 80s, early 90s, and got a scholarship and started at Vanderbilt. But he's the McGill family up there in Youngstown, and he posted, I see him on pretty regular occasion now, but he was, I want to read this to you because he sent a picture of his father, that's his late father there, and I just thought this was good. I want to read it. He did a little tribute to him, and I thought it was good, just sort of in the middle, here it is, the end of summer and all, and I'm going to read you the tribute he sent, because it's like so many young people that grew up here in the Panhandle. I'm going to just read it to you, it's special. I grew up gigging flounder, frying mullet, shooting dove, spotlighting, looking for those red eyes in the water, running trot lines, and always around a large group of friends and family with monthly potluck cookouts. I learned weird names like red-breasted brim, warmouth, stump knockers, white and yellow roe, and cowbirds. I learned how to scull over the stern of a boat with one oar. Today I realized how happy my childhood was. Thank you, Dad. I miss you, and I finally get it. I thought, Ronnie, what a great tribute to learn all those things. And he lost his dad not a year or two ago, but he just did a good tribute to him right there in the middle of the summer, really. It sort of hit him. So anyway, I wanted to pass that on. I also had speaking of things about the Panhandle that were sort of native to us, green peanuts. They were asking, some folks were asking, are the green peanuts in yet? And of course, all kind of people say, well, I got some here and some. Okay, green peanuts are the local one, okay? Mainly Jackson County, some in Holmes County. And Billy Grantham replied, they haven't started pulling them yet, pulling them up out of the ground. And some people replied, there's some jumbos here. I don't like the jumbo boiled peanuts. Some people do. On occasion we get them, but I'm not a jumbo peanut guy. But the green peanuts will be in shortly, and we'll get Billy to keep us posted because he usually brings us some. So I know he's watching this morning, and shake them off good and bring them in here and all. I wanted to also, the biggest thing about the green peanuts, when you pull them and all, there's so many on there. I know Lee Kiner, he did some as a hobby and all. We just got a kick out of watching all the peanuts you pull up out of the ground and all. But this is a big business. Peanut farming in South Georgia and North Florida, it is a huge business. And not just because of the farmers doing it, the co-ops that have the fertilizer and everything, the tractor companies, and it's just I didn't know until a good while back. I knew farmers my whole life, but I didn't realize how big the business is and how it sort of all merged together and they all work together. They all work hard. They make a good, decent living off of it, but so many times it's dependent upon the weather. And we've had a lot of weather now that's been wet. So hopefully it's not going to have an effect on the peanut crop this year. Okay, let's go ahead and take a quick break and we'll be right back. Welcome back. Glad you're here with us on the last day of August. Tomorrow is September the 1st, and we've got a Labor Day weekend coming up, a 3-day weekend for a lot of folks, and I know everybody's excited about it. I feel like the weather's sort of going to straighten out, and it looks like I'm just anticipating a very good weather for Labor Day weekend. Take a look at our fishing game times today, brought to us by Blue Water Outriggers. We're looking at, down in Port St. Joe, we're looking at 6:26 to 8:26 this morning. And this afternoon, or late this afternoon, 6:51 to 8:51. I know you haven't noticed lately, but the days are getting a little bit shorter. It's interesting when it's cloudy and all like we've had. It's sort of hard to tell. But once we get a run of clear days and everything, you can see the sun's going to be setting a little bit earlier. Now, I wanted one thing I want to talk about. Most of y'all know how much I love history and all. Tied in with history or museums, and I've always been always enjoyed museums. We took our Washington, D.C. trip, and we hit some of those cool museums up there. And I've preached since day one on this show. I wish we had a fishing and boat building museum here in Bay County, here in Panama City or St. Andrews, but we haven't accomplished that yet. But my hat's off to these little communities around here that have done that. We've talked about Destin, and we've been over there and talked about the Destin Fishing Museum. But how about Carabel? Let's go, kudos to Carabel, and they got some stuff coming up. Listen to this, coming up, visit 3 Carabel museums. They have 3 museums: Camp Gordon, Johnston, World War II Museum, the Lighthouse Museum, and then the Carabel History Museum. And the thing about it, it's going to be free on Saturday, September 18th. This came from Liberty County Journal. You can go visit them, and on Saturday, September 18th. So you want to do something cool on there. And what's cool about, for y'all that don't know, the Gordon Johnston Camp Museum, that's where they train our servicemen during World War II before the D-Day invasion. That's where they trained them how to land in the landing craft on the beach. And what a cool story that is. And I've been to that museum. And so kudos to Carabel Museum and all. And then also, and I haven't talked about this particular museum here, but I have it here. In fact, here's the article here. Smithsonian, listen to this. The Smithsonian Traveling Museum is coming down here to do one of their displays. They're doing it nationwide. And guess where it's going to be? It's going to be in Chattahoochee at the Arsenal Museum. Most people don't even know there's a museum there. Go online, look for the Arsenal Museum. And this exhibition is actually on waterways and how important the waterways are to us in America. And it's a sort of a broad spectrum of things going on in waterways. Well, we're talking about water. We're surrounded by water all throughout the Panhandle. So I'm going to try to make it over. It's going to go through, it starts August. It just started a couple days ago. It's going through October 23rd. So it's a good time to get there. They're open on Tuesday through Thursday from like 10 to 3. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 10 to 3. It's not a big museum, but this is the Smithsonian Institute, and they're traveling across this. They have a project I was reading up on it called Main Street in America, where they like to take some of those real fancy things they have in New York City and Washington, D.C., and put them in small town America and display them. So some of them are sort of wacky and all kind of artists, but this is a good one here. This is going to have some local stuff and local people displays and some different water things and all. So I was excited about that. So anyway, I'll keep you posted on it. The waterways, it's called the waterways, and how water affects Americans, and I'm just looking forward to that. Now, along the same lines, I wanted to talk about doing good things and all. I ran across this. We talked about on yesterday's show. Matter of fact, I was talking to Daniel Cole and was telling about how Bay Haven is having a skeet shooting team, or North Bay Haven has a skeet shooting team. Of course, he was excited because he loves shooting also. And then I just recently saw this. I got to find more information on it, but they sent out a couple of pages at Bay Haven Charter Academy. They're having a fishing club. Who's ready to go fishing for their school? Well, Bay Haven or North Bay Haven claim to have the Angler of the Year. And the mission is to teach our students the values of fishing. I mean, is that not cool? To increase parental involvement in our schools, expose students to various bodies of water, the fisheries, the ecosystem. Just have fun. And the season begins September 1st, which is tomorrow, and ends July 31st. And this is the Bay Haven folks, and it's just all kind of cool stuff. Listen, they have the social events at the Haven Aquatic Center. And so they're actually, what was cool, they're going to actually have, let me see if I can find it, male and female angler, and then they're going to have, here's the special events. Friday night special events. They're going to have a fall kickoff classic on Columbus Day weekend in October, Battle of the Bayou, February on President's Day weekend, and a summer break Red Snapper Classic, which is May, and then it's May to Memorial Day, and then a season finale. Now that is just really good stuff. I don't know who is behind this, but I'm very proud. I'm going to get up with them and all, because this is setting up, it's sort of a year-long process. Now I know Highland Park Elementary does the same thing, and my question to you, or to all of us, why don't all the schools do this? I mean, 100% of the kids aren't going to participate, but just have some kind of informal thing, and it's on an honor system. They're going to, put it on a ruler, and take a picture of it. They're not going to bring the fish to school on Monday morning and weigh it. They're just going to do the length of it, basically. But to have those, like the snapper, you can take the kids out anytime fishing snapper in the summertime. That's a great idea. And the Bayou Classic, that's like a weekend where everybody goes fishing. And it's such a great idea, and I'm so excited for them. I'm going to get with Larry Bollinger, who's the headmaster over there at the school system, the Bay Haven school system, and I know Larry, old school fisherman. I'll get with him, find out what's going on, how they're doing it. It's a win-win. So kudos to North Bay Haven on two things, or Bay Haven system: the skeet shooting team, and now year-long fishing tournament. So I'm very, very proud of that school for doing that. I wanted to also, as we're getting into the late summer, a lot of us are talking about floundering, and I ran across an interesting thing. One of the top floundering states is North Carolina. Well, here we've just changed our rule. We're going to close it, and people fought it hard, but they're going to close part of our floundering system here in Florida. So I looked up at North Carolina. They've cut their floundering season down to 14 days, just a 2-week period, which is, that's pretty strong to cut it down from, so many months down to 2 weeks. And they're doing it because they're not having a big population of flounder. And they get hit hard up in the North Carolina waterway system. I know about it. So anyway, and its length has gone to 15 inches. So here, we know it's gone up. Our size has gone up 12 to 14, but minimum size. But so make sure that you're getting ready for floundering season. Make sure you know the rules and regulations, and be thankful we have a season as long as it is. It's going to be closing, I believe, October 15th. I'll double check on the dates on it, but you don't have a lot of time. So if you want to hit September, one of the things to be doing in September, especially go to high school football game Friday night, then just keep on going down there and go flounder gigging. I've done those kind of things before. I haven't done them lately, but that's a fun thing to do. So flounder gigging is coming up. Late summer is always good. And speaking of late summer, we're in it. We have just 20 days, 18 days left in the summer, but it officially ends at Labor Day weekend, unofficially. All right, got to wrap it up. Got a big show tomorrow. Hope you enjoyed today's show. Do something good today for your fellow man. Enjoy the great outdoors, and God bless.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.